Sharon throughout the whole show and just kind of doing different things. I was lucky to not get some Cottage Farms Rose of Sharon, oh gosh, 10 years ago.
Wow.
I still have them. They go from house to house with me. At the current house we're in, there was a gazebo already there in the backyard. And I put the Rose of Sharons in between each window. So when we're sitting in the gazebo, there is a window of flowers coming in.
How beautiful.
And it is so easy to maintain, you know, just to keep that, you rub your hands up and down, get off anything new. You can trim these into any height and shape that you want. You can't kill these if you tried. My bark right now is about that big.
That is awesome.
It's like that big, and like the size of a coffee cup in its girth. And I tell you what, they are some of the most beautiful bloomers out there. And the fact that Cottage Farms is offering this up in this color, in the raspberry smoothie, I am thinking here. This is new. It's on 5 payments of $17.50, free shipping and handling. This is another one that they did not graft.
Yeah.
This is actually the way that it grows, which is huge. It attracts butterflies, hummingbirds, deer. It's drought tolerant. It's heat tolerant. It's a perennial. It never goes away. You can't kill this. But yet it looks like this dynamic, almost like a mini hibiscus.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yes, well, it's in the hibiscus family, so that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yes, and this is a hardy tree. So when we were talking about our hardy hibiscus earlier, when I say this can grow anywhere in the country, this plant can grow anywhere in the country.
And just correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not your typical Rose of Sharon. A lot of people go, oh, I had a Rose of Sharon hedge. It was out of control. It was spindly. It was ugly. Right. That's not this.
No, this is new breeding technology. I know that sometimes we have these classic plants that do go out of fashion, but people don't realize that there's been new breeding technology. Not only is this going to be not leggy like those, but it has double petals. So you get double the flower power. You were talking about the bloom power on these. They're bloom power plants because the flowers grow up and down the stem. So unlike our hydrangeas or our roses that grow at the edge of the plants, which we love those plants, but this one will bloom for you up and down the stem.
Katie, I'm going to back you up. I'm going to back you. By the way, this is very limited now. What she said, we really need to underline, exclamate, because it's one of the coolest things. A lot of times the bloom happens at the tip and it's done. But Katie just said, if you heard her, it blooms from the tip all the way to the tip down. So you really get this crazy, like insanely crazy ice cream cone of color.
Yes.
That comes off of this. I don't know what to say. That's really cool. I love that.
I mean, that's what makes this so unique and so special. And the other thing, you really, really covered it. This is a long-lasting plant. It's an investment. People get these as investments in their landscapes. They can last 40, 50, 60 years.
Believe it.
This is a tree in your landscape. So as you can see here, it's planted with some patience underneath it. How beautiful that looks. But this is a nice, more of like a V traditional tree shape. If you want more of our favorite tree shape, the lollipop, you can prune this into any shape. You can prune it into a heart if you want.
You can.
If you're so talented to do that.
Can.
You can prune this tree however you want to prune it and keep it. It can get to be 10 to 12 feet tall, but you can keep it in a container and keep it 6 feet tall if you want.
Anything you want.
Yeah.
And like I said, mine are about 10, 15 years old, and they are thick, and they've been moved, literally dug up and moved, and had to wait till you sign the papers at closing to get them back into the earth. And that's the first thing I pull out of the moving van. My husband's like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So they will go anywhere with you. They'll do containers. They'll do anything you want. They'll be any shape you want. They aim to please. They are like a gardener's little secret friend. And you, right?
And the other reason is because they're summer blooming. Think about our summer blooming trees and shrubs. It's hard to come. We have our butterfly bush, which we love, but other than that, there are not very many summer blooming trees. Yeah. So when your trees have finished, your red bud and your other trees have finished blooming in the spring is when this one starts to shine.
I just kind of feel that because we get so excited about the gardening season, a lot of us lean into, and we very heavily focus in the spring flowering.
Yes.
And we kind of forget about the summer flowering. And that's why I loved adding the Rose of Sharon, because she reminded me it ain't over yet,
No,
sister.
we're just in it.
Yeah, we're just getting in it. So it's just such a beauty. Now,
It is
this
a beauty.
is quite large.
This is very large. I mean, this is a great ship sample, and I'm really excited. We're sending you home with a stake too. A lot of people ask me, what do I do with the stake? When you replant this, I want you to take this tree out of the pot when it comes home, or you can keep it in this pot for sure, but I would prefer an 18 to 20 inch pot for this. Take your stake and stick it all the way down into the soil. That will keep this tree from flopping over. Or if you plant it in the ground, take your stake and stick it further down into the soil past where it's been growing in the container.
Love that. It's just, and
look at it.
It really, they're so hardy and easy to take care of and beautiful. They're fast growers.
Yes, they are.
What about bloom? Will this bloom this year?
This will definitely bloom this year. In fact, I was looking for buds on it because sometimes they will have buds right out of the box because they're ready to go.
They're ready to go. They're the most boisterous.
We call them the daylilies of the shrub world because we talked about our handwriting on the wall daylilies, how easy those are to grow. This is the same way. You guys, it will just grow and grow and grow.
Get it? Do not judge her by her name, because if you're going, oh no, I've done, Rosa Sharon's before. Oh, no, you haven't. Not like this.
Not
beauty.
a tree.
And double ruffle.
That's right.
Double petaled.
So it just looks like it. I mean, we've talked about the bloom power, but even with the double petals, that makes it look like it has even more flowers.
Even bigger and more beautiful. How would you describe to the folks the color?
So when we say raspberry smoothie, I would say this is even more of a, let's see, where would I go? A bubblegum color.
Yes.
The way that the color is, almost like your pants.
Look at that.
Really,
it is.
It's
It's
more
like
of
a bubble gum.
Yeah.
It's just so delightful, and I love the ruffling that you're seeing there.
Check that out. And this is a pollinator plant. Even though sometimes our double-petaled plants are harder for the little bees to get in there, this is still, if you're passionate about pollinators, this is still one plant that will help support our little winged friends.
Yeah. They're gorgeous, you guys. If you want to put this outside of a window when you open in the morning, you will see this bouquet. Like I said, I have it in between each window in the gazebo. If you want to put it in that place that you and I were talking about, creating for yourself, this is another one that's hardy. It's going to provide you with a little bit of shade as well, not even kidding. You're going to determine the shape. You'll determine the height of it. Super, super easy to take care of. Bursts of color. This one does not disappoint. The only thing that'll be disappointing, I'll be honest with you, is that you didn't get more than one. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong.
You are not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Wrong.
There. Yeah, you're gonna go, oh shoot, why didn't I get more of these? They're beautiful.